As you can see from the opening image here, I got a bunch of watercolor supplies, and this is for my March Patreons. And it's also for the Grumbacher Win It Before You Can Buy It contest, and their theme is origami. So I've decided to do some lovely origami flowers and a panda. I had looked up reference images and how-to videos on how to create an origami panda. I generally find pictures are great for reference, but having something physically in your hands that you can look at and see the lighting on and really figure out what makes it special and the shape of it, it's so much easier when you have it in your hands. So for the panda, creating one was pretty easy, and it was super helpful to know where all the folds were going to be on this panda when I started creating it. I know we kind of zoomed right past it, but the background, I used a sea sponge for the application after I used rubber cement as a masking to keep my edges and lines clean for where the panda and the flowers are. And I was pretty confident about putting these little bright seeds, if you will, in the background, so I went ahead and removed the masking. And now I'm going in with my Kuretake brush pen. It's a number 7 nib. And if you've watched my previous Inktober videos, you've seen me use this a lot. And knowing the effect it has with water, I figured this was perfect to use for the panda. My palette does have a black and a gray. I don't really care for the black that came with it. Once it starts getting diluted, you can see a separation of color, which is kind of a bummer. Whereas the Kuretake pen, once it's wet, has this very solid gray tone, and it's a little bit neutral. Whereas the palette had more of a bluish tone to it when it started separating. So I'm just using the outline that I created by wetting it to create these beautiful washes. Of course, you can see my little mistake there on the side of his eye. If you've worked with watercolors, you already know the ink and the color will go wherever the water is. So you have to be very mindful about where you're putting down water. And I created the lines just with the very end color that came from the brush. Just very lightly drawing in shading spots and the folds. And I did also create a coloring page for my Patreons, for the $1 and up supporters, and it was based off the painting, which I did first. So going back to create the coloring page was pretty fun too. If you want to go check that out, there's a link down below for my Patreon. Now this Grumbacher contest is open to everyone all over. So if you have an origami piece that you've already done, or you're inspired to work on one and submit it, just head over to their Facebook page and there's a link to all the information. Mine has already been submitted, so I'm very excited. And the prize is, like the contest says, it's a win it before you can buy it. They're coming out with their own brand of paper, which I'm very excited about. I've been slowly getting back into watercolor and gouache, and trying to explore all these different paper types is time intensive and it is quite expensive. And I really don't have the extra money to spend on all these different paper types right now. So to be able to win something like that is pretty awesome. along with the paper that they're going to be coming out with, you will be winning a set of their watercolors and a set of brushes, which I think is spectacular. And on top of all of those goodies, they will be featuring the winners on their Facebook page and on their website. So that's pretty awesome to be featured on there and have all of these people that visit their Facebook page and their website see your awesome submissions. And that's pretty cool. So I'm going in and darkening up the edges of my seeds just to give it a little more of a pop. And tightening up all of these star flowers that are around the edges. So back in 2008, I helped my very close friend who was getting married fold 1,000 paper cranes. That's one of the requests she and her husband-to-be had for their wedding, was they wanted 1,000 cranes for everyone who attended the wedding to release into a stream that they had dug into their backyard. And I was folding these things just all day long, even while I was at work, which my boss was very cool about. He even tried it out and had a hand at making a few, which he was really good at. After a while, you start to get used to the motions. You could almost do it in your sleep, I'm sure. Back in September, I created one, and that was the first one since 2008 that I had created. And that was for one of the Art Snacks speed drawings, which there's also a video for if you want to go check that out. But it was so much fun, just like learning the process, and oh my gosh, the paper cuts and the pain in the hands. But it was awesome. I don't foresee myself creating 1,000 pandas anytime soon. Alright, so thank you guys so much for checking this out. If you're not a Patreon supporter just yet, you can pop over there and check it out. And if you feel like donating, that would be awesome. And I apologize, I did not get to finish filming the end of this where I did the outlines on the flowers. But you will see the image coming up right after this close-up of what it looks like, and the coloring page that's available. Alright guys, thank you so much. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.